How does a player's national team performance affect their legacy?
I think that it depends on what you value, but I personally think that international competition, there is more passion, there is more love, there is higher quality of investment. And overall, I find that more players care about it and more people care about it. So I think that that is more important to legacy. World Cup is the biggest trophy that you can win. And the Euro and Copa America probably just after that. Then the Champions League. I think if you ask
What about the Asian Cup?
The Asian Cup too, yes.
What about AFCON?
But think about it.
Careful now.
No, hold on. No, listen to me. Do you think that Heung-min Son would rather win the Champions League with Tottenham or the Asian Cup with South Korea?
Asian Cup with Korea, 100%.
You think so?
Yes. I think he would.
Okay.
It's so much more difficult, I think, for him.
No, but that's a good example. He's literally an icon. He's the greatest Korean of all time. What does he not have? A medal with Korea. He won the Asian Games with like the U23s. But I think if you put a gun to his head and you said, hey, pick one right now, he's going to say, give me the Asian Cup.
Okay, perfect. That's all well and good. But I feel like these trophies, they have scales. And yeah, the international ones will often carry more weight than the others. If you find somebody who prefers other trophies, like there's a certain pundit out there. I don't know if I could mention him by name on here. He used to be on the Kickoff. Now he's on the Club. He's an Indian gentleman. He doesn't really feel beholden to India or England. So Manchester United is his team. I feel like when you find exceptions, you find people that prioritize Club. But that's because the Club is their home, right? That is what they've used to represent them and their community. Right. Manchester is his home.
Right.
Not India, not England on the whole.
But also, I think that some people might be a little oblivious to the privilege of being from an actually competent footballing nation.
Very true.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I think it's easy for Argentines and Uruguayans and Brazilians to be like, oh, the national team. Meanwhile, somebody from goddamn Myanmar or Malaysia is like
Suriname, Geraldo Becker.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, I'm a Madrista. Thank you very much. Don't ask me about
Don't come at me with that. Just look at all those Qatar fans at the World Cup. They were jumping, clapping. They had their choreographed dances.
There's for sure national pride for your footballing team.
No, I'm fucking around. Those are Syrian refugees. Those are Syrian refugees.
Like 83% of the population are
they're
foreigners.
bought actors. Yeah.
They're paid actors right there. But yes, I understand. I understand what you're saying. Because I've had that thought before. I'm like, Jesus, thank God I have Argentina, because if it was the United States, I'd be in dire straits here.
What's going on, guys? We're going to take a VAR break here for a second to talk about the sponsor of today's video, PAKTLI Foods. Now, if y'all don't know, PAKTLI is a snack that is inspired by traditional Mexican alegrías. The main ingredients are puffed amaranth, quinoa, millet, chocolate, nuts, berries. It slaps. Now, I love my Deadball TV fam, so I would never recommend a snack that I personally do not eat. And to prove that, I'm about to eat this live on camera. Honestly, this stuff is great, guys. No preservatives, no additives, all organic ingredients. Tastes incredible. This is literally the ultimate snack right here. Now, what I can do for y'all is I can get y'all 10% off on all orders of PAKTLI if you use the link down below in the description of this video. You can also use the code DeadballTV at checkout if you really want to be extra like that. Either way, we would really appreciate it. It helps out the channel. You get a bomb snack that nobody else knows about. You can put your friends on it, probably get some clout points, and it helps a local business. So really, it's just dubs all around. Once again, the link is in the description. Thank you, PAKTLI, for supporting the channel. Now back to the video. Jake, I think you and I, for some reason, were talking about George Weah the other day, and I don't remember why exactly that came up. Did I make that up? Was that a dream
we were talking
I had?
about Timmy Weah.
Yes, and we were talking about his dad. Yes. Like, dude, Liberia never had a prayer to win an AFCON, to go to a World Cup. He's only got 20 goals for Liberia. This is the greatest African player of all time. He's got 20 national team goals. Like, should that affect his legacy? I don't think so, because Liberia are shit. With all due respect, terrible team. Like, there was nobody who could have. Messi's not doing anything with Liberia. He's not. Ronaldo's not doing anything.
He's scoring more than 20 goddamn goals.
No, he's not, dude. In Africa, they're taking his ass down, son. Oh my
Oh, because in
god,
South
bro.
America they treat him so well.
Oh, bro. No, he comes up against that Cameroonian back line. No.
Oh,
sir.
he on the ground.
Oh,
He
he
made
on
them
the
all
ground.
look like silly
Broken
cunts
leg.
in the fucking La
He
Liga.
on the
Broken
ground,
leg.
bro.
Broken
He on the
leg.
goddamn ground.
We can talk
Broken
about
leg,
it.
baby.
But
Okay,
but that's what I
fine.
mean. That's what I mean. For
He
like,
can manhandle Virgil van Dijk, but he can't take down the fucking Senegalese. Okay, all right.
well, Van Dijk might be
yeah,
finished.
dale.
He might be finished. But but
Messi. Okay.
no, but that
Oh.
it's a serious thing that needs to be discussed. Is if you're from a small nation,
Mm-hmm.
the likelihood of you winning a trophy is ridiculously small. Like as good as Croatia have done under Modric, Brozovic, and Kovacic, Mandzukic, they didn't win anything. They got close. They got a couple seconds, third places here and there. They didn't get any trophies though. You know what I'm saying? So like, how does that factor in to the entire formula of success for their careers? Like, how does that?
I feel like you reach different like categories and qualifications. Like when you become truly world class in whatever caliber you are in, people will hold you to that standard regardless. I think it's easier to reach immortality in club football because like nobody is going to hold that World Cup against Modric. Nobody. He is still one of the greatest midfielders that I have ever seen.
Oh, he balled out the whole tournament.
He balled out the whole tournament, but the fact that he lost has nothing to do. Even if they didn't make it that far, I'd still put him as one of the top midfielders of all time. It's the same thing with, like, what is it? Luis Suarez never really did anything with Uruguay. Still the greatest striker that La Liga has seen maybe ever. People are going to get really upset about that, but
maybe
like
Raul's got something to say about
Raul, maybe Benzema, I understand, but like let's
Stefano?
Di Stefano, yeah, I think he was.
He's
more
better
of a
than
winger.
Benzema. Suarez is better than Benzema for sure.
Suarez is better than in my
Come on.
opinion.
Oh no, it's a fact. But yeah, okay.
But like you understand what I'm saying. I feel like it's more easy, more easier. I feel like it's fucking more easier. I feel like it is much easier. It's much more attainable to reach immortality through the lens of club football.
I see your point, and I want to use another player example.
Okay.
And Jake, I'm gonna give this one to you, and that's our boy Keisuke Honda. So, Honda has won Japanese Footballer of the Year, and he has won Asian Cup. Okay.
No.
Does that affect his legacy more than the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trophies he won in Russia and the Super Cup he won with AC Milan? What is the bigger effect on his legacy?
For him, and it sounds like it's such a case-by-case basis, but for him, it's got to be the international trophies, right?
That's what I would think.
Yeah.
But
That's
what
what I
is
would
more important in the general zeitgeist?
How would you define that, Jake?
I think and I think, Connor, you mentioned it, I think it really comes from what country you're playing for, like where you're from. Argentina, everyone expects, and I feel like I always use the word expectations, but everyone expects them to win something.
Valid.
Yes. And those players they'd probably sign a deal where if they had to choose between the national team and club, they would all sign their club contracts away, and be like, shit, I'm just going to play for the national team instead.
Oh, yeah.
You have to think so. Yeah.
I'm sure if you asked like Luis Suarez, hey, you have to turn in your Champions League trophies, but we'll give you one more Copa America, so you'll have 2 instead of 1. Of course, I don't know what he would say, but he'd definitely think about it. He'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
2 major trophies with my country. It's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
I think this is how I like to think of it, and you guys in the comments, let me know how you see it. So we have 100 points to allocate. For me, I think club is 70. So you can score up to 70 points depending on your club achievement. The other 30 you get from your achievements and performance with the national team. And I think that needs to be graded partially in terms of like individual performance, trophies, but also, Jake, to your point, expectations. Because I think that will protect players from smaller countries. Like Geraldo Becker's never going to do anything with Suriname. But if the man scores 50 goals for the national team and he drags Suriname to a semifinal at the Gold Cup, bro, in my book, you scored 30 out of 30. for the national team, in my opinion. That's kind of how I see this a little bit. I just came up with that on the spot. I might regret that in a later video, but for now, that's kind of what I'm rolling with.
It's a rolling scale, in terms of how much does your country care and how big of a footballing nation is your country.
Yeah, valid.
Yeah.
I also had no idea that Suarez had won a Copa America.
Yeah, 2011, his only one.
I'm a silly fool.
In the interview I did with Alvaro, I asked him about that. Like, do you think that this generation underperformed? And he said no, but he said the general consensus in Uruguay is like, yeah, they should have won more than just one Copa America.
I think they should have. So how does that affect their legacy when you think about Cavani? I think.
Let's score it out of 30. What do you give Cavani for Uruguay?
Out of 30?
Bro, I'd give him like 25. He only got grouped one time at the World Cup, won a Copa America. 23. I'll go as low as 23, I think, for Cavani. Out of 30.
I'm trying to remember individual performances there. He really did play. He always plays his fucking socks off. So you know what? I personally would give him like a 26.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
But I think the streets will just the streets.
The streets will remember him.
I think
hey, I'm gonna shout out my window.
If you ask a layperson, they might give you as low as like a 15 to 20. I think because they're gonna be like, well, he never did anything with PSG. We never did anything with Napoli.
But that would be the other 70%. Like if we're using my scale. Just with the national team.
Just out of the 30 points.
Yeah, just out of the 30
well then. Damn, I think that's buck wild that you think it's just a hard 30 for national team points. Like,
it's just fewer games, like fewer things to try to win.
That makes them so much more important.
Well, and that's the rotating scale that I was talking about. So I think on average, a 70-30 makes sense across the whole world. But for South American countries where they bleed football and they bleed for the national team, it might be closer to like 50-50.
Yeah, me, I'd probably go 60-40.
Or 60-40, yeah.
Okay.
60-40 with 60 being club? Or 60 being, okay.
No, 60. That means if you're the best club player of all time, but you sucked ass for your national team, you're a failure, in my opinion. You scored a 60 out of 100. You're a failure.
Yeah.
That's your personal scale.
That's my personal scale, yes.
Okay.
And let's poke holes in. We can poke holes in this all we want. I literally just came up with this. So somebody's got a better scale in the comments. Leave it down there. We'll adopt it.
Leave it down there. I think the logical answer is, and the fucking boring answer is that they're separate. They're like compartmentalized, right? But no, we need to talk about this. Like if this comes down to an argument and you say, okay, well, what about Luis Suarez versus Robert Lewandowski? Who are you taking? I'm taking Luis Suarez. I'm taking Suarez.
Oh my God, I'm taking Suarez.
Easy.
In terms of skill?
In terms of everything.
Yes!
He produced nationally. And I just think he produced in a harder league, had less help, and he's part of probably the most prolific front three trident that we have seen. Yeah. Us three here have seen.
Yeah, I mean, ever. I agree for sure, but I just don't like what are you getting at, I guess, when you compare those two players?
I'm just saying, like, if we're not gonna do like just a straight scale, like you have to compartmentalize these two things in a different way. You have to use them instead of just like, oh, well, this is the percentage and this is like the rating that I'm going to give them. It's not nearly that rigid, right? It's going to come in like arguments when we're like talking with people, right? Like we're doing right now. If I was like, Suarez would absolutely wax Lewandowski, and you're like, what the fuck? No shot. And I would be like, well, where's Suarez's international trophy? Or where's Lewandowski's international trophy? Because Suarez has a Copa America.
Well, then the rebuttal would be Poland are average at best.
Well, Uruguay's average at best right now.
No, what?
He's a hater.
No, bro. Poland's third best player is Matty Cash.
He is a god back there.
Don't do that.
Poland performed better than Uruguay in the World Cup.
Because Poland had the most booty group in the entire cup. They had Mexico.
Shit, I'm just saying, bro. You got to take this.
That's embarrassing.
I don't know.
Oh, no, dude. I might have to. Whew. Thank God Uruguay is a country of 3 million people. Otherwise, they'd be coming for your head right now.
That's all right. Let them come for
Nah,
my
that's
head.
crazy.
What? No, they are no. I'm gonna stand here and I'm gonna defend this. They are not nearly as good as they used to be. So compared to Uruguay's average, they are middling right now. They deserve much more skill than what they have right now. Okay, we're talking about a glory days with the Uruguay I was raised on. The Uruguay that I know has Godin locking it down in the back and Suarez and Cavani fighting for competition. Okay, so when I look at this Uruguay, I'm like, man, they're down bad. They deserve so much more. Yes.
And that's
Poland
a
has
totally
always
separate
been
argument. Then are they better than Poland? I mean, like, yes, they are substantially better than Poland.
Okay, but I still think that Suarez and his international, like doing that with a good, objectively good Uruguay team is still very impressive. The Copa America is not an easy tournament. So
No.
what is the Polish equivalent? Making it to the semis of the Euros or something?
I would say semis the Euros.
Have they done that?
Dude, they've been kind of cheeks at the Euros.
They've been kind of cheeks overall.
Yeah,
so
I don't know. Jake, do you know if
Lewandowski can win as many Bundesligas as he wants. He can bang in 50, 70, 80, 100 goals a season.
Yeah, I really haven't been paying attention to them.
I feel like, Connor, you and I aren't arguing because we both agree that Suarez is clear.
We do. Well, none of us are. We're trying to figure out this metric.
I'm not arguing either.
I'm trying to start an argument.
Let's see.
This is like an echo chamber. I'm just so lonely over here. Somebody talk to me.
They made the quarterfinals in 2016. They got grouped in 2020. And they got grouped at 2012. Yeah, they asked. No, they asked. They asked. Does international performance mean more to a player representing a CONCACAF nation or a CAF nation?
CAF.
Why?
Fuck, hold on.
They want to put the continent on their map.
On their map.
They want to put the continent
on an Afro.
This is the most
on everyone else's map.
Brain dead podcast.
Yes.
Goddamn.
Yes. Grammar is very good right now.
This is God.
Dude, no, that's a really good question.
This post editing work gonna be crazy. So you think that, let's say I'm Cameroonian, that my performance at AFCON is more substantial, it is more beneficial or damaging to my international career than, let's say, Rafa Marquez with what he did with Mexico?
Does it have a bigger...
Run that by me again.
Does a Mexican doing great things with Mexico have more of an impact on his legacy than a Cameroonian doing great things with Cameroon?
Yes.
No, I think when you say it like that...
Mexico is separate. I think that Mexico is an exception to the general CONCACAF vibe.
It's the same. When you ask a question that way, it's the same.
Dude, I don't know. I think an American's legacy is not going to be impacted that much by exceptional international performance.
Not semifinals 2002 World Cup? You don't think that's like a big glowing star?
I think if Mexico made it to the semifinals of a World Cup, Mexico would explode.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck Cinco de Mayo, it would be whenever the fuck that date was.
Yeah.
People are going to forget all about the 4,000 Mexicans that died to save, Mexico from France and the U.S. from the Confederacy. Fuck those 4,000 guys. They're going to remember the 11 guys that played and lost in the semifinals on that pitch.
Mm. That's fair.
The U.S. could win the World Cup, and I guarantee you 40% of the kids at my school would only be able to name like one or two players.
Dude, 20% of the kids at your school, if not more, wouldn't even know that it happened. They'd be like, we won the... You'd be
surprised. You'd be surprised. It's pretty football centric up here. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, you got a lot of immigrants and a lot of like multicultural community.
No, I'm telling you, football's pretty big up here. At least in the schools that I've taught. Bigger than American football.